Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Christian Starkey. I'm the User Experience Manager at OpenSolar for Australia and New Zealand, and welcome here today by my good friend Guy Olien from EnergyEase. Today we're running through our newest integration. It's with EnergyEase on OpenSolar to give you guys the opportunity to provide commercial payment plans to your commercial customers through OpenSolar. So we'll be starting off today with a little session from Guy. Is going to run us through some slides, tell us about EnergyEase, what they have to offer and the benefits to your business. And then I'll be taking over, running us through OpenSolar and how to integrate EnergyEase. And we'll probably do a step-by-step process as an example to run you guys through, how your customer is going to apply for the payment plan through OpenSolar as well. So without further ado, Guy, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thank you very much, Christian, and obviously to the rest of the OpenSolar team. It's been a great experience to get to this point of integrating with you guys. So as Christian mentioned, I'm just going to just quickly share some slides that we've just put together. In terms of who we are and what we do, and our processes, and then some of the tools and support that we have available to you as users. And then Christian's going to jump in and show everyone how to grab our products and our tools within OpenSolar and incorporate it into your proposals. So very simply, what we do, we are one of the premier payment plan providers in the country for solar and energy efficient equipment. We've got offices in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane and Auckland. We've now funded over 6,000 projects. We're able to, through our digital platform, we've been able to get to 93% approval rating. So within 5 minutes, about 93% of all payment plan applications are pre-approved. 7 out of 10 deals that are pre-approved ultimately end up being funded. That's a really important point that as part of your sales process, when customers actually agree to get pre-approved, it's a great indicator of their willingness to proceed with a transaction. So 70% of all customers that get pre-approved ultimately go through and sign and then get their system installed. And then we pay you as installers 100% of the cost within 48 hours of your installation. So what we do is we've taken that whole process that's normally been a real cumbersome, difficult, data-intensive process around getting finance, and we've made it an incredibly simple, efficient and online process. So up to 150 grand is approved without any financials across a range of equipment. So that's solar power, lighting, chillers, boilers, storage and voltage optimization. And we do the whole process, as I mentioned, online and typically within under 5 minutes. So some of the really important parameters for us are we will fund between $3,000 and up to $5 million per transaction. And in order to qualify, a director needs to have been a property owner and the business needs to be at least 2 years old. We do both businesses, we do not-for-profits, and we do everything up to sort of large listed commercial type counterparties. But by far, like the solar industry, the majority of our transactions tend to be with small, medium enterprise type clients, typically with sort of 1 to 2 directors and not a large board of multiple directors. The benefit of those payment plans though, and this is kind of where it gets into the sales process that solar companies have, is that by incorporating a payment plan into your proposal, customers can get immediate benefits on their electricity bills. So typically up to 60% savings can be achieved via a solar installation. It obviously depends on their load profile. They have no upfront investment obviously required if it's under a payment plan. So this is the whole $0 upfront value proposition that many people are now offering in the market. The entire system can be cash flow positive. So by that I mean, or what we mean is that the savings on a customer's electricity bill are often greater than the payments under a payment plan. And as mentioned, we typically approve 93% of our transactions in under 5 minutes, which means that you can really engage a client into the sales process and then move on to the next step of figuring out how to fulfill that solar installation and allowing that customer really to focus on their core business, which is generally not an electricity generation business. So for the average customer, the way that their energy is produced and the way that they procure energy is typically not a major concern for them. They just want it to be easy, simple, from a reliable partner. And that's really what the OpenSolar platform will let lots of people do, is to create a reliable, professional proposal. And when it's combined with the Energy Ease payment plan, it then becomes a very easy to accept value proposition from the customer's point of view, in terms of being able to get pre-approved in that really short space of time and actually sign it on the spot. So the other key parameters for us is, for all STC systems, we will do up to 7-year terms. And for all LGC systems and multi-sites, we can go up to 10 years or anything over $200,000 in value. Our rates have just been reduced by up to 1.3% across the board, which means that not only were we competitive before, but now we are even more competitive. And that's, again, a factor of our scale and maturity as a business. And the other kind of really important thing is that we offer both rentals, which allow customers to claim the full payment as a tax-deductible operating expense, but we also do chattel mortgages or loans, which allow the customers to claim the full value of the equipment as an instant asset write-off under the federal government. And this is an Australian initiative, not something that applies in New Zealand. I know we've got some New Zealand guests here. So the instant asset write-off is really an opportunity that only exists for Australian businesses and not in New Zealand. But it is something that is very, very compelling for those clients that want to be able to get solar without spending a cent, get an instant asset write-off, and then on top of that, it's cash flow positive because the electricity bill savings are greater than the monthly payments. So really, to dig into that in a bit more detail, the major reason that we are finding these 6,000 customers of ours have decided to go solar is to really get greater cost certainty around their electricity bills. Leading up to 2020, there was significant price increases in the market. There's obviously been some reductions in power prices recently, but the reality is that that volatility in electricity prices has been a big concern for a lot of customers. And being able to get certainty over a portion of their bill by being able to generate their own electricity through solar has been a really significant reason for a lot of companies to go down the path of solar. The other major value proposition is, as I mentioned, that their electricity bills are significantly reduced after introducing solar, and often that value proposition is actually cash flow positive in the sense that the electricity bill savings, like you can see on the right-hand side or in the middle column, are greater than the payment plan repayments, which means that they are literally often cash flow positive from the minute the system is installed. And then once the payment plan period finishes, the savings become even more significant. The last is that, as I mentioned, for most Australian organisations, whether they are not-for-profit or corporate entities, they are not in the business of generating solar and energy. They are in the business of providing services or selling certain products and services, as I said. So for them, the ability to allocate money to their core business is generally far more important than to allocate capital to something that's going to save money. So they are much more likely to invest in people, in stock, and in marketing, and therefore the value proposition of $0 up front becomes very compelling, particularly when you add things like instant asset write-off, cash flow positive, or fully tax-deductible repayments. And again, our team is available to help anyone that's got any questions about the different products at any point in time, and I'll introduce them later. So from a process point of view, like we've said, applications can be done online in under 5 minutes. The whole thing is now being integrated with OpenSolar so that it's even easier than ever before. And again, Christian's going to demonstrate that straight after this. We provide instant approval with no financials for transactions under 150 grand. And that means that there is really no overwhelming paperwork that customers need to provide other than typically a copy of their driver's license. So the steps are that firstly, you integrate our rates and our offers into your OpenSolar account and build a proposal in OpenSolar that incorporates a payment plan option. The customers can then accept the proposal within OpenSolar, and within the same session, without having to leave the OpenSolar platform, they can actually get pre-approved on the spot, again, for deals up to 150 grand. They can then actually sign the agreement on the screen without having to print anything out. And literally, we verify information on the spot. As often as short as 5 minutes, you can actually then start to schedule the installation. Once it's installed, we process your payment typically within 48 hours, and the customers start to pay for that equipment. So there's some wonderful resources available on both our Australian and our New Zealand websites if there's any questions that you have afterwards. So again, happy to direct you to any of these training videos afterwards. But Christian is about to demonstrate both these videos, or rather both the processes that we're going to show you directly in the OpenSolar platform. And again, from a contact point of view, we've got account managers in Victoria, Queensland, WA, Tasmania, New South Wales, ACT, and New Zealand, as well as a full support team to enable you guys to close any sales that you need to. And if there's any technical questions, we're available to help answer those. So Christian, I am going to stop sharing here. I tried to kind of run through it quickly because I think the real meat of the presentation is in the actual integration now with OpenSolar. So I think the best part here is to actually show people how it looks in OpenSolar and how they can incorporate it into their proposals and then show the client journey from there.
Awesome, absolutely, and thanks so much, Guy, for running us through those slides. That was really insightful, and hopefully gives you guys a good idea about what Energies can do for you guys. It looks like a really easy process, and yeah, I think it'd be great now if we can just run through that process step by step in OpenSolar. Do give us a shout if you're experiencing any technical difficulties on the session. I just noticed John there had a question come through, but I assume that's all resolved now. I responded to that. So let us know if the audio or anything or screen sharing is stuffing up, and we can try and address that. All right, cool. So I'm going to share my screen now. Just jump into OpenSolar here. Perfect. So OpenSolar. If you guys are completely new to OpenSolar, I'll give you guys just a very general outline of what we are and what we offer. We're essentially a software for solar sales and design. In here, you really have an end-to-end package for your solar business, where you can generate leads, design solar systems, create really nice digital and interactive sales proposals, and in that incorporate your Energy Ease payment plans as well, which we'll run through today. And then you can close a sale online through Energy Ease and deliver post-sales documentation. So yeah, fully end-to-end toolkit that we offer at OpenSolar, and believe it or not, it's completely free to use as well, and I can explain why shortly. So I'm just starting here today on the My Energy Zone. You'll see the app is split into 4 different zones. The My Energy Zone is the sales proposal that you're going to send out. So this is just a preview of a proposal that I've done for a customer. You have the project zone, is where you're going to create the project in the beginning. That's where you're going to manage the CRM and the workflow, the customer's consumption profile, and a few other core details of the project. You're doing all the designing action in the studio zone there, and then you're coming through to My Energy to preview the proposal before you send it out to the customer. Finally, you have this control zone, which is where you set up key business information, your pricing, your hardware, your payment options. So that's all we'll be setting up Energy Ease as well, and a few other things like your proposal templates and whatnot. So we'll touch on that stuff too today. So this is something I just want to talk about for a moment here, because this is really awesome. This is a completely new feature that we've just set up with our Energy Ease integration. So you can see over here, I'm currently on a 5-year rental, and we have in here, 5-year rental, we've got a 6-year rental and a 7-year rental, and that's represented by these 3 different term lengths over here in the quotation table. So the customer can easily just click between these different term lengths. That will update, the total monthly payments that they're paying, as well as the total payments throughout the lifetime there. So that's nice and easy to just compare for your customer between those options. They can also select, loan options through Energy Ease as well here. And once again, selecting between those different terms. In this case, I've actually already done an example for a 5-year rental. The customer has already applied for it here, and they've actually already been conditionally approved. So that is fully linked in with the Energy Ease portal, and then you'll get a notification saying it's been approved in this My Energy page here. But we'll start from the beginning, and I'll show you guys firstly how to set up the integration, and then we'll go through the steps of designing a project, and then coming back through here, and we'll run through the application process as well. So first things first, let's jump into the control zone. That's where we're going to get set up with Energy Ease in the beginning. We come into pricing and payments and payment options here. And in here, you'll have a banner at the top of your screen. It looks like this guy. I've just brought up our Help Center article for the Energy Ease integration. It looks like this, and you can click Import Energy Ease payment options to get like a generic list of options that Energy Ease offers. Or you can go straight through and get accredited with Energy Ease on the spot. You simply just fill out a few small details, and that only takes 30 seconds, and then you can get accredited really quickly, and then you get your own unique rates with Energy Ease as well. So I recommend taking that option up, but if you're in a hurry, you can always just do some testing with these guys as well. And so once you've done that, I will then get an API key, and we'll put that in your account. And you'll get your own unique set of rates, as I mentioned, and you can see here all of the Energy Ease options can then be populated into your list of payment options. You can also choose to auto-apply them. If you're doing a lot of commercial jobs, you want to auto-apply it, and that means it will be set for every single future project. You'll have the Energy Ease options on there. And then to get to the fun stuff, the Energy Ease options are within this payment options area here. So you can open this up, click on Override, and then from here, we can select some Energy Ease payment options. So for this example, let's go 5 6 and 7 year loan, and maybe let's offer them a 5 and 6 year rental as well. So we'll just let those options apply. You can see it's calculating there. Perfect. And now let's go through to the My Energy page. So that My Energy page is what the customer is going to see. It's that proposal that we started on. Great, so we're loaded in here now. We can click Continue to Proposal. This is just like a brief cover message. Let's click Continue. And now once we've gone in here, we can select between those options and those payment options as well. So we'll dive right into the Energy's application process now, because I already ran you guys through this stuff. Let's take the 6 year loan as an example. Say your customers, they've already come down here, they've compared those different options, and then they just go right through to apply for the payment plan. You click on this and it brings up an Energy's iframe, and you'll notice that some of the information automatically gets populated in here for you. So you can see the address gets taken automatically from the project. We can choose the ownership status. Let's go owned, mortgaged. The equipment will populate into this equipment description area, so that's nice and handy. So will the amounts, so that's all good to go. We move down to this business details section and put in some more of those, their customer can put in their details. I'm just going to take some details here that I've been using as a dummy example. So once you put that in, it will automatically populate, the registered business name, which is nice and easy. And then you can leave this blank if it's the same. The GST registration date is put in here as well. So let's go. It's pretty easy if you just want to type it like this, and it will just automatically come up for you like that. So that's nice and easy. We can just do this as the same. And then the business phone number you can put in there too. I just put in a random one when I created the project, so that should automatically populate in, but I'm just going to change it over to this guy. Coming down, same as installation address, you can click yes on that. Then we can put in the bank details in here. This one, let's just paste it from the top here, the registered business name. Put it in the account name field, that's perfect. Now moving further down, we can select some personal details. And then email address as well. Let's just use an Energy's email address. That's nice and easy for us. For the mobile, I'm just going to put in my own mobile number because we'll need that for a verification number. And then the address, I'll just copy that in as well here. Now notice for the address, when you start typing that in, when your customer's typing that in, they'll have to then select from this little drop-down bar. So we'll click on this one, and then we can go the from date, it's March, let's go from 2018. Great, and ownership status is mortgaged. Okay, perfect. So that's pretty much the core steps of this little iframe that pops up here. We then just want to click customer agrees, put in my mobile number at the bottom here. And once you click send SMS, that will then just bring me up with a text message. So I've got the text message already, nice and quick, and I can just put in the verification number there.
Christian, just to jump in, you just need to change the person's date of birth to the 25th of January 1970.
Gotcha, okay. Thanks for the pickup there. Okay, so let's go.
Yep.
Okay, nice one, thank you. So I've got that, so I'm just going to verify it now. Hit there, it's verified, and then we can go ahead and click submit. And then after this, we're just going to go through quickly some of the signing process. Guy's just going to run me through that. So look at this, we've been congratulated, application's already been conditionally approved. So that was nice and quick. And then we can go right through to sign for Dorothy. Click on this guy. Once again, just going to put in my phone number to get that verification. All right, okay, great. And now we can get started here with the contract. So Guy, do you want to just run us through this and I can kind of run through while you talk us through it.
Yeah. So the whole system that we've developed and that we've just demonstrated here is really about the solar companies being able to give their commercial clients just this whole payment plan option. So it's not just an upfront capital purchase, and the whole thing is about building the payment plan application, decisioning and signing process into the same session that a commercial client, again, it doesn't matter if it's a not-for-profit or a for-profit entity, when they're reviewing the OpenSolar proposal, which is the system size, the savings that are expected, and the design, they can also then figure out how am I going to pay for it in one session and in one interaction. So what we're now doing is, after putting in their information in terms of who they are and some banking details, which is really the only additional information that wasn't in the proposal, they then get to this stage, which is, okay, here's the offer. Now, if you want to accept, we're ready to go. So by clicking on Get Started, it takes the customer to the first place to sign. Now, I just want to mention that when Christian hit Submit, not only did it generate the agreement on the screen, but it also sent an email to the customer. So the customer receives both a physical copy of the agreement, but also the ability to sign online, doing exactly what we're showing here. So Christian, if you click on that, click to sign, insert, and then by hitting the button up the top that says next, the client is directed to the next place to sign. So the customer needs to firstly sign to accept the agreement. The signature that we're seeing here is the guarantee signature. So click there again. So for all companies, our default position is to take a director's personal guarantee. When the customer puts in their ABN, if it's a school or a not-for-profit, it will automatically recognize that they are a not-for-profit, and this section that we're looking at here will be blank in terms of it's not required. And if it's a larger organization that doesn't want to provide personal guarantees, that's where I suggest any solar company just gets in touch with us or your account manager, and we can talk you through it. So again, Christian, next. The next place to sign is for a loan agreement, a disbursement authority saying that we can pay Energy's test company for that amount. Again, next. This is the direct debit details. And then the final signature is just another privacy signature. And once that is done, you'll notice that the button that was saying next suddenly says continue, because everything's been done. Again, if the customer wants to scroll up and down and look at any of the terms and conditions, we highly recommend that. But the idea is that we're trying to make it as convenient and easy as possible for the customer to proceed with their desire to get solar installed. So by clicking continue, that finishes the signing process. They then have one final consent to say that they understand they're being legally bound, even though that signature doesn't look at all like their real signature because it's a digital signature. So agree, and then that is it. So obviously we took a bit longer than we would normally in this presentation, but the idea is that typically within 4 to 5 minutes, a customer can literally go from application, credit decision, contract generation, contract execution, which then allows the solar installer to really get on with the act of scheduling that install. So that is it, Christian. And maybe the last thing that we'll show you is, as mentioned, we typically just need, in addition to the signed agreement, a copy of the customer's driver's license. So on this page, customers can actually attach their driver's license if they want, or alternatively, we'll chase it up and get them to email it to us. So thank you, Christian. We should do this more often, Christian. You're very good.
Great team.
So, Christian, I think what we might do now is end it there. I think we wanted to sort of allow 15 to 20 minutes for Q&A, so we're bang on time. I'll leave it to you now to do the Q&A. I'll just mute myself again.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys, for running us through the signing process there. Nice and easy, and yeah, like you said, can do it in a matter of 4 to 5 minutes.
I will just say that it's been remarkable just how many companies have requested integration since we made this announcement. I think it's been a really promising reflection on how commercial solar is really starting to take off, both here in Australia and in New Zealand. And I think the market is obviously really conscious of the fact that, particularly after COVID, people are really looking to improve the productivity of their business. So solar makes sense as a productivity improving investment, but most people want to avoid using their own money where possible. And so payment plans are really opening up the conversation. So we're seeing a lot of people put payment plans into every single one of their proposals to improve the chances of their customers saying yes. With payment plans, it's obviously much more approachable and accessible. And so even if customers decide to pay with a capital purchase type decision, the idea is having all the options there on a piece of paper is really an important part about being able to open up your funnel, your sales funnel, to allow sales to flow. Again, we're really pleased about how this has all gone, and we think it's a massive part of continuing the evolution of the market, and in particular the professionalization of the market in terms of tools like OpenSolar, so that more Australian and New Zealand businesses can start to adopt solar, because ultimately this is a really important time in history for organizations to start taking action. And we are all a part of that journey and a part of that transition to a cleaner future. So that's it.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Time to wrap it up. Thanks, everyone, for joining in. And yeah, I'd say we can do this one time again in the future, Guy. What do you reckon?
I look forward to it.
Awesome. All right. Okay. See you guys.
Thank you.